Well, the Gillette ad, it's playing on the same tropes. Well, there's something wrong with men. Well, yeah, no kidding. It's not like that's news. But, well, it's Jesus. It's not news, you know? And we could all be better than we are. But to attack masculinity as such, well, maybe it's a form of chaotic challenge. I mean, I don't really understand it. Well, I do wonder that, you know, if that's part of a. Here's something. I might as well get in trouble for this. I've been thinking about this. That'll definitely get you in trouble. You know, I already said that one of the functions of women is to challenge men, and I mean in the most profound way. And that's part of the evolutionary process that's made us what we are. It's like, women have never organized themselves politically en masse, right? That's never happened before, so now that's happening. And I looked at this chart the other day, and it was a chart of the degree to which university. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get in trouble for this. The degree to which a university discipline was politically correct, rank ordered. And then beside it, a list of the probability that university department was female dominated. And they match up very nicely. The more dominated they are by women, the more likely they are to be politically correct. It's like, that's interesting. Thought, well, I don't know why that is, and I don't understand it exactly. So I've been generating hypotheses, which is what you do if you're a scientist, by the way, is you try to think, well, what might account for that? You don't think it's true when you think it, you just think what might account for it. I thought, well, maybe that's how women would express themselves politically. We don't know. Women have never expressed themselves politically. So now they organize and they express themselves politically. Like, what kind of voice is that going to produce? Well, maybe it's a voice that criticizes the patriarchy. Maybe it's an extended part of the female challenge to the male. It's like, you're not everything you could be. Here's my accusations. Can you withstand them? Is there enough to you to manage it? Well, I have no idea. It's like, is that what's happening? I can't tell. You know, I mean, we're seeing this degeneration in the universities into this ideological morass as far as I can figure it. And the axiomatic presupposition is that our culture is a tyrannical patriarchy. It's an accusation. Well, what do you do with an accusation like that? Do you just roll over and die? Or do you respond to it and say, look, not so fast, you know? There's some things worth preserving here, and a little gratitude is also in order. There's plenty of bloodshed and catastrophe and past sins, but look at all the good things that you have, and have some gratitude. And if we're not able to make that case, let's say as men, or maybe even as standard bearers of our civilization, if we're not able to make that case, then maybe we're not everything we should be. Look, I talked to this neuroscientist a while back, and he told me something very interesting. He wrote this book called The Master and His Emissary. Ian McGilchrist, very smart man. And he was talking about the necessity of opponent processing in the operation of complex and finely tuned systems. He said, well, imagine you want to move your right hand very slowly and accurately, so you can do this. But if you really want to do it accurately, you do this. You put your left hand up, and you push against your right hand. And then you push a little harder with your right hand than your left, and you can move unbelievably finely and accurately, because there's forces in conflict that are regulating the action. It's like, I don't know how much force there has to be in conflict to regulate our actions. Maybe when women rise up politically, which is what they've done, what will emerge from that is like a challenge to the idea of the patriarchy. Well, the Gillette ad goes along with that. And why is it a problem? Well, because we risk throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So that's some of my thoughts on the latest Gillette ad. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Stephen Hawking, and Sam Harris are all warning about AI. What are your thoughts about AI?